and welcome to YourTown television program. I'm your host, Paula Joy MacNab, and back at you with another great guest. I love this opportunity to share these amazing people in our community with you, our viewing audience. Today I have Pamela Snyder, and Pamela is one of those people who is really annoying to me because she's really good at some things that I think are quite frankly kind of boring. But she's really great at it, and that is about getting our word, our marketing message out to the world in an incredibly effective way. She does so much more than build beautiful websites that nobody looks at, and God knows I've had one of those. So I'm delighted to hear what she has to say and share her with you. Welcome to the program, Pamela.
Thank you, Paula. Great to be here.
Yeah. As I say, I'm really kidding when I say you're an annoying person, but it's that topic which for me as a creative person, as a realtor and interior designer, I love doing what I do. I love creating my content. I'm really not all that good at getting it out to people. So it's just fantastic that you not only are good at it, in fact, fantastic at it, but you're passionate about it. So tell us a little bit about how you got into that. It's such an anathema to me. It's like, really? So how'd you get there?
Well, I started way back in the 90s in the dot-com boom, so I've been at it a long time. Back then, you know, it was wild. It was all the opulent parties just crazy stuff going on. You know, everybody was working around the clock. We all had sleeping bags underneath our desks. No one
Please
went
tell
home.
me you didn't have a sleeping bag under your desk, Pamela.
Actually, I didn't, but people did.
Goodness.
But you could walk into an office, you know, at 2, 3 in the morning, and it'd be full of people, and you know, and buzzing. And nobody was there because they felt tortured. They were there because we were having fun. We were doing cutting-edge technology. It had never been done before. We were on the forefront of interactive media, and it was thrilling. It was really a historic time.
That is great. So the name of your company is?
Gosustainably. We have a branch called DigiVino, which works specifically with the wine world. But Gosustainably is the main company. And
describe what you do.
So basically, you know, I like to mention Kevin Costner and say that Kevin Costner lied.
Does Kevin Costner know that? Okay.
So he was in a film way back when that was called Field of Dreams. I don't know if you remember it.
I do.
But in it, he's building a baseball diamond. And they keep saying, if we build it, they will come.
Great line.
Yeah, it's a great concept.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it does not work with websites. And so really, I started Gosustainably way back in 2010 in order to help small businesses to really not only get the word out, but actually find who they're looking for, their target audience, and bring that target audience to them by leveraging leveraging or capitalizing on, that was where I was going, on the online space.
So let me ask you a question, because I get calls literally every day, I kid you not, that people are saying, oh, we're going to sell you this top space on Google, or we're going to put you in the top this and the top that. And, you know, I thank you very much, but please take me off your list. What can you do that is effective, that is different than these other companies with a lot of promises that, quite frankly, Pamela, kind of jade us as the consumer? And I've probably hung up on, well, I don't hang up on them. I say, thank you very much. Please don't call me again. Goodbye. But I think I've gotten a bit jaded about this topic. So why should I listen to you?
Yeah, I hear where you're coming from. Yeah. In fact, I receive emails saying, you know, I really could help you with your website. So it just shows that they're just blanket emails that are being sent out. There's really no looking. Yeah. And that's, to start with, a big difference, is that my company is all about really connecting with our clients and working for the long term. So we don't just come in and do something and disappear again and leave you to deal with it. It's really about the relationship. And so it's about helping. We really help businesses navigate the online space to get what they want, to get where they want to go with it, whether it's getting more sales, finding new clients, just getting their brand out so that they're known, that sort of thing.
What might be a sample or an example, Pamela, of someone that you've worked with that you've had a success with, or they've had a success in their story?
So we've worked with many businesses of all different sorts, but one example I'm thinking of is a winery that we were working with, and we are still working with up in Napa. We've been working with them for maybe 6 years now. And when we started, they had about 300 connections on Facebook. They had a website, but they weren't doing a lot of sales on that website, and so they wanted to. It's interesting. The owner said, "You know, I have a really difficult situation. I can't keep my wine on the shelves." So for him, that's, you know, and he says it jokingly, of course.
Right.
But for him, then the goal was not to sell wine so much as to increase the brand value and awareness, so people could see how good his wine is, and then he could increase his margins over time and also grow production and sales. And so you know, now there's thousands of connections, and they're not just random names. They're truly people that are following and listening to what they're saying on social media and on their website, and interested in what's going on in the vineyard, what are they doing in the cellar, that sort of thing. Their sales, for example, through one email campaign in particular, we actually doubled the revenue that was coming in through email, and so that would be an example.
No, that's a great example. So you said something very interesting. Is he had a specific need. He wasn't trying to sell more wine per se, but he was trying to do something very specific. So what do you do with the business owner or person who doesn't really understand what it is that they need to do? They love what they're doing. They're just trying to do it. How do you help that person?
Yeah, oftentimes there'll be someone sort of like you where you said, you know, I like to do what I do. I don't want anything to do with promoting and that, you know. So in those cases, we would actually work with the client to find out exactly what they want, and then we'll take over a whole big part of that and do it for them.
Oh, that's music to my ears. I love that. Yeah. So you've got a couple of different types of clients, I understand. Define the two different types of clients per se of the do it themselves. So there's the ones like you had mentioned of wanting to have everything taken care of for them. Right.
And then there's the flip side of that, which is really common actually, of course, with small business entrepreneurs, which is the do-it-yourselfer. They wear many hats. They want to handle it themselves. They're working with limited budgets, but they really don't know how to go about promoting themselves online, getting new clients online, getting people to their website. And so they want to do it themselves, but they don't know how. And I was finding that so frequently that recently I've started a program specifically for them, for the do-it-yourselfer, and it's called Go You. And,
Love it.
And so it's tools, training, and mentorship. So basically, it'll be a combination of working together to roll out an online strategy over the course of a year and providing all the tools. And I really look for free or low-cost tools that will help to get the job done. I train how to use them, and then I mentor while they're rolling out their plans, so that if they run into a bind or they're confused, don't know, they can just connect and get the answers they need in order to succeed. Right.
So, Pamela, what might be an example of, you say a no-cost or a low-cost tool? What might be an example of what that would be for someone?
Well, MailChimp is an obvious one for a small business starting out.
Tell people what MailChimp is. See, this is your world. You know what this is. Not everybody watching does.
Fair enough. Yeah. So MailChimp is a way, if I have a small list of clients, which might actually sound quite big to someone that doesn't know, which might be 600 or 1,000 names on my list, and I need to send them an email, I'm not going to go into my Outlook and paste all those names in and send it off. Everyone, all the recipients will see the names, which is just not good practice.
Of course.
If I put it in BCC, so that it's hidden, it's still a problem because it gets caught in spam guards.
Yes.
And so we need to use a tool to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And we know from research that emails get better response when they're personalized. So it says, "Hi, Paula," rather than sort of a generic "Hi, friend."
Right.
And so this will allow a business owner to do that, to send out an email by plugging in an automated way the name for each email. An individual email goes to each recipient.
Right.
And so it's a great starting point.
Talking about email, and this is so interesting because we get so many emails, all of us do, and people are rather horrified because I have 66,000 plus unopened, unread emails in my email box, but I don't have the time to go through and make a decision. Do I need to delete that? Do I need to keep that? Do I need to take action? So I leave them there. Okay, so what is a compelling line in the subject line that's going to get me to stop and open one of those emails instead of just passing it by?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and it's something that every business owner that's sending out an email campaign, which is really what it is. If you send out an email, it's a campaign.
Right.
Is they need to think about. And so the first question is, well, what do you want to happen with this email? As a business owner, what do I want to happen when I send it out? Am I just giving information? Do I want them to come and sign up for an event? What needs to happen? And so your subject line then wants to spark an interest in that. And there are other free tools to use to actually test subject lines. So you can type it in and actually see sort of what sort of a rating it would get as far as the likelihood that it will engage an audience.
Right.
So that's kind of interesting.
That's very interesting.
But, I always tell my clients, don't work in the dark. With this field, you never have to work in the dark. And what I mean by that is, back in the day of direct mail campaigns, you'd send out a postcard, you wouldn't know if it never arrived.
Absolutely.
Or, you just wouldn't know.
Right.
It took a really long time for phone calls to start coming in.
Right.
Well, with the internet, you can send out an email and you can know within seconds how many people have clicked on it, opened it, read it, linked through to your website. And so you can actually research, in a sense, in very subtle ways. So I can send out an email to my list and I can have 3 different subject matters, just a little blurb about each one with a read more link. And I can then measure each person, each recipient, and what they clicked on. And now I know, I can make a group, a segment, and say this segment is interested in topic A, and this other segment's interested in topic B. So next time I write them, I can send them more meaningful material that they're really going to use. Because contrary to popular belief, marketing does not have to be smoke and mirrors. It actually, good marketing, and I know that sounds like a dirty word to many, but really, good marketing is about finding the value that a business is offering and finding a group of people that want that same value and connecting them. That's all it is.
Absolutely.
So it's really a sort of a matchmaker.
Yeah,
in a sense.
That's a great way to put it. And you raise such an interesting point, because when you can really identify what, say, your wine connoisseur is looking for, as opposed to someone who is mildly interested in wine but feels intimidated, just to be very simplistic, that's extraordinarily powerful information for your vineyard.
Absolutely. It gives you the information you need to know how to proceed. And that's why I say don't work in the dark. You can always look at what you've done, and then you can change it and adjust in order to get the results you want and in order to meet the needs of your audience.
Right, right. How often, Pamela, do you recommend reaching out to someone who might be the old term of a cold call, someone that you haven't met at all, but you feel there's a strong demographic there for you? How often do you reach out to that group, would you say?
That's a really good question. And again, it comes back to each audience is different. And so you might test by, maybe you would send out one email a month, and you would see what the response rate was. And when you're talking about cold calls, I mean, ideally, and you're not sending out to just random names that you've collected. Buying lists is not generally a good idea. You want to actually build a list based on people's interests who have come to you to say, I want to receive emails from you. So it shouldn't be quite the equivalent of a cold call.
So you would not recommend to a small business owner to go out and buy a list necessarily?
Absolutely not.
Oh, good information.
You build a list. You build a list of people who are interested in what you offer.
Right.
The easiest way to do that is you offer something of value for free, and not a gimmick. It's not a sales tool. It really has to be truly something valuable that you're willing to part with, and you offer that. And
what might be an example of something of value that you could offer?
Well, so for example, you can offer information, and that's sort of an inexpensive way to offer something up. You can put together a cheat sheet of, these are important facts that you might not know. Here's, the 10 things to avoid when you're doing X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
That's
well, in real
in
estate,
your
for
industry.
example, I could do, some information that would be valuable about how to show your home in the best light possible, something like that.
Absolutely, and then that would be the perfect thing for you to be doing if you're specifically looking for people that are selling.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because then you're going to find the sellers. Whereas you could do some other informational piece, and it could also be a video, for example, where you're talking about how to go about buying a home.
Right.
And then that's going to get a different list segment for you. And then you wouldn't blanket both lists with the same message. You're going to give them exactly what they want. So it's really, again, about matching up what that audience needs and wants with what you're offering and aligning those two things.
Exactly. Wow, fascinating. You've got my brain going already. Pamela, how do we reach you? How do people find you?
So come to Gosustainably.com, and it's easy to get a hold of me there.
Okay.
Or email me at Pamela@Gosustainably.com.
Gosustainably.com.
Yes.
Great. Great. Well, you have been so informative. And again, there's so much that I want to hear. You've got my brain going and going, I think I need her. But then I already knew that. Thank you so much for the great information. It's so valuable. And it really eliminates, I can see from our conversation today, Pamela, really eliminates a lot of those annoying emails that numb us to valuable content. So thank you so much for that. Wow. I'm saying wow a lot today, aren't I? Please do look her up. She's got great information. She has some free courses that are available, which are ongoing. Go to her website, gosustainably.com. Thank you for watching. This is YourTown Television. I'm your host, Paula Joy MacNab.